Information is the most valuable thing in the world. With the right information, you can get anything you want, really. So in today's video, what we're going to do is highlight a piece of information that I found that is pretty incredible. It's actually an e-commerce business in a super saturated niche that is completely taking the world by storm. So there's a lot of interesting notes that we can take from the approach that this brand is taking. I'm not going to waste any time with you here. I just want to drop this idea and value and information, since it's so valuable, for you. So what it is this brand called Baze, and what they do is they sell luggages. This is a notoriously populated niche category. However, even though they're relatively new, they've been able to achieve over 1 million monthly recurring visitors to their site consistently. That's what recurring means, every single month. And that's extremely impressive for this category of products. Now, this is an influencer-led brand, and this actually is the first thing and really the most important thing. I'm just going to give it to you right now that we need to take into consideration here, because what this brand is doing is just putting, full throttle speed. They're just going as fast as humanly possible, and that's what it takes actually to take over a category. So what they're doing is they are incredibly good at marketing, first and foremost, right? They're incredibly good at posting organic content, which is a major key. That is one avenue of your business that is extremely important, to be constantly getting more awareness for your brand for free, right? Where you don't necessarily have to do much, and it's consistently garnering more attention. Now, they're able to do that through content. Content is the ultimate form of leverage these days. And as you see, they have many videos that organically get hundreds of thousands of views. It's really impressive. This is actually the girl that is the founder. Now, keep in mind, all of these videos are also posted on TikTok. I can't see it right now because there's something wrong with my internet and TikTok. I don't know what's going on here, but for some reason, Chrome has just not been showing the TikToks that I try to look at, on desktop at least. But here's what I mean by full throttle. They are doing all this stuff organically, right? They're putting extreme amounts of efforts into their organic reach, into reaching as many people as possible. And by the way, when I say these things, try to apply it to your business, right? It doesn't matter what stage in your business you're in, even if you're drop shipping, this still applies. But they're not just staying stagnant with this organic growth. Obviously, it's not stagnant. They are completely crushing it and growing more and more. But they're not just, stopping there. They are also excellent media buyers. They're also driving a ton of results through paid acquisition. Now, why would a brand that is running so much organic traffic also be running so many different ads? 340 different results? That's pretty ridiculous. Well, it's because of what I told you, right? This is something that startups used to do. Startups used to go pedal to the metal to try to acquire market share in a market. Market share in a market, that's kind of funny to say. It's redundant, but that is sort of a culture thing that stopped a little bit because everybody started only relying on paid acquisition because of how powerful it was. Rightfully so. Meta is the most powerful and complex, sophisticated machine learning ad platform in the world. So a lot of brands got comfortable, but these guys are not getting comfortable. They are going so hard at everything. So yes, they found success in organic and they're completely crushing it and putting double the efforts into it, but they're also doubling down on paid. They're still reinvesting in advertising that just grows the brand month over month. And I think I love that approach. First of all, they have all sorts of different videos here. They have really well-produced videos, but also some just normal UGC content. This is a great blend. They have images, Instagram story format images, even just square images, every single format you can think of. This is good. This is what Meta likes. They like the creative diversity. If you have more creative diversity in your campaigns, you're going to get better results more often than not. Now, what I was saying, though, is that I really love this approach. Just the combination of organic and paid is extremely powerful, because what people don't seem to understand is that when you post something organically, right, you are still taking advantage of the machine learning algorithm of the social media platforms to show it to more and more people. But you don't have to pay for the algorithm to show it to more people. So when you post something and it goes viral organically, that's all free growth. But guess what? That also dictates what you should then use advertising dollars to potentially amplify, right? Because the algorithm has already told you that this is content that resonates with the platform. And if the content resonates with the platform, it's going to get cheaper metrics. It's going to win auctions. That's what people don't really understand, is that Meta is an auction platform. You're bidding against other people. So you have to beef up your bids, right? And how do you beef up your bids? Is you choose the best content possible that already has proven to get results. So that's a really powerful concept. It may go over a lot of your heads, because you may just not be in a stage where you can really take advantage of that information. But please write it down no matter what, because I think Meta is only going to get bigger with their shops. I think TikTok is only going to get bigger, and it works the same exact way there. I think YouTube is also going to start working this way as well. And yeah, I mean, if you're just not aware of that, you're just not going to be on the cutting edge, and you're not going to be able to compete at the highest level possible. But these guys definitely know what they're doing, right? They're definitely taking advantage of both of those things. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? If you can not have to guess which ad is going to do well, you can reduce the amount of money that you spend on testing and instead double down on the content that's already working. Now, does that mean you shouldn't test? No, it doesn't. But it does mean that you can be a little bit smarter about how you spend your money, and you can waste less money. Not saying that testing is a waste necessarily, but mindless testing is a bit of a waste. And that's why I'm just really happy with where we're at in terms of the e-commerce cycle, right? Like, paid media is pretty saturated, you could say, but there's so many low-hanging fruits that allow you to really beef up your bids, as I was saying, and that's really through content. So as long as you remain a good content creator, maybe you're not a good content creator, but maybe you can find someone who is, you're going to be able to build a successful business. And I like that. I think that's really powerful, because it allows you to diversify your risk. There's not just one platform that you can make content on. There's literally 5. And short form content is a lot easier to make content for than long form content. So you no longer need to be able to create these like crazy commercials in order to compete with the big brands. If you can just make, 20-second videos that are elite, and you have a great paid acquisition strategy in one of the most sophisticated and powerful, machine learning advertising platforms in the world, you can literally compete with the big brands. And that's what they're doing. That's how they're taking market share from the big luggage companies. I mean, I don't even really know many luggage companies besides like Rowala or whatever their name is. I don't even remember anymore, because I hardly ever see their ads. But these guys are getting talked about like crazy, right? Because they are taking advantage of all of it. They're putting their pedal to the metal. And I think that's just a really motivating thing. I think it's really cool. And ultimately, my vision was always for my company to take advantage of both of these things, organic and paid. And now we're doing that more and more. And I just love seeing examples of brands that are, arguably on their way to billion-dollar levels, doing that as well, because it shows me that I'm on the right path. And hopefully you feel the same way. Hopefully you've already started your business. If you haven't, then use this as motivation to do so. I have a Shopify store builder in the description that I share in every video, because it just allows you to build a store really, really fast. And I know a lot of people have trouble going from 0 to 1. And that's actually the most important part. If you never start, you're never going to learn. You're never going to succeed. And there's a really powerful quote I tweeted recently. It's, if you never give up, you might make it. But if you give up, you definitely won't. And it's really as simple as that. So just get started. Don't be afraid to fail. Everybody fails. Literally, some of the most successful people you'll ever meet have failed dozens of times. There's no shame in failing, but there is shame in not trying if it's something you really want to pursue. So make it cool to try again. And that's it. Peace.